Most people struggle to respond when somebody asks the all too familiar question, what do you do? And because of that, they're missing out on marketing opportunities every day. My name is Kurt Stockwell, and as a StoryBrand certified guide with over 11 years of marketing experience, I've helped hundreds of businesses create marketing that actually works. You're listening to the One-Liner Workshop podcast, and in every episode, you'll learn how to create a powerful one-liner that'll make people want to do business with you. Keith Dimeler is a CPA and owner of Dimeler Associates, an organization that caters to individuals and businesses aiming to simplify the management of their taxes. Collaborating with independent accounting professionals, he provides a flexible and responsive team approach that maximizes accuracy and customer service. Unfortunately, Keith often struggles to answer the question, what do you do, because of the complexity of his offerings. Today, we'll help him create a clear and memorable one-liner that will help anyone understand his offerings, allowing Keith to engage in more conversations about his brand and land more business. Let's get started. Hey, Keith, thanks for coming on the One-Liner Workshop. Are you ready for this today to distill your elevator pitch down into 2 sentences?
Yes, sir. Thanks, Kurt. Thanks for having me. Let's give it a shot.
All right. In our conversation we had before we flipped the cameras on, you were a little skeptical on whether we could do it, but I know we can. And one of the things that we were talking about that I want to kind of unpack for the listeners as they're coming into this is, an elevator pitch is different from a one-liner. An elevator pitch is something that you typically use in an opportunity when you have a little bit more time. And typically an elevator pitch is a little more buttoned up than just a simple answer to the question, what do you do? So you can kind of think of a one-liner as kind of like passing the baton from the one-liner to the elevator pitch. And then ultimately what the elevator pitch would do is kind of pass the baton into like the full scope of all of your marketing, whether that's, engaging with a call with your team, or that's heading over to the website, or, maybe engaging with some of the additional material, follow-up material, that kind of a thing. But the one-liner is really kind of the first step that anybody should consider in getting clarity around their messaging. And again, it's just a simple answer to the question, what do you do? Now, so that answer can be verbal. So if you were in a networking group and somebody said, hey, Keith, what do you do? You should be armed with an answer to that question that is memorable and repeatable. Additionally, when somebody lands on your website, you should be able to unpack what you do in about 7 seconds. And sometimes an elevator pitch can be a little bit too lengthy for that. So we're going to go through that process. And at the end of this, have a couple sentences to the answer of what Dimeler Associates does. So before that, though, tell me a little bit about your company and tell me a little bit about you as you're running this empire.
Well, I grew up in Florida and moved out to the Northwest in 1996. In 2008, I signed up for a master's degree of accountancy at the University of Idaho and finished that program, and then took a job up here in Spokane. And I worked for 3 other accounting firms, tax and accounting firms. And the reason I started Dimeler Associates is because my desire was to be as a partner of a smaller firm here in Spokane. And that did not look like it was going to pan out the way I had hoped. And so I realized that my only opportunity was to start from scratch somewhere or go out on my own. We're in year 7. And things are going really well.
That's awesome. Fantastic. Well, that's a fun journey. I am not from the Northwest as well. I'm from the Midwest and the kind of northern part of Illinois. So we both kind of migrated west, which you had a little bit further of a flight coming from Florida. So let's do this. Why don't you kind of tell me your elevator pitch, and then let's talk about that. And then kind of let's start just to distill that down into a more simpler, concise answer. So do you have the elevator pitch in front of you, or are you able to kind of run with that?
I can rattle it off my head, okay. Top of my head. At Dimeler Associates, we have a commitment to excellence. We're committed to providing excellent tax work. We ask questions to make sure we're not only getting it right, but looking for opportunities to pay less in taxes. We want our work to stand before kings. Mm-hmm. So that's number 1. Number 2, quick response times. Would you prefer a more responsive CPA? Would you like to talk to someone who can communicate clearly without using technical jargon and code speak? We generally respond to emails and phone calls within 24 to 48 hours and seek to communicate in a regular, healthy manner. While we are not perfect, we perform superbly in making sure understanding is a two-way street. That's two. Third one is we provide fixed price agreements for most of our clients. Do you avoid calling your accountant because of the bills you get? We provide a fixed price agreement for most clients so they don't have to fear the clock ticking.
Got it. Okay. This is all great stuff. I mean, good for you, and kudos to you for working through all of these things. And these are, like I said, the things that people definitely need to know. I think that the quick response times and the fixed pricing agreements, that really kind of stuck out to me as something that people might be looking for. Jumping to the second part of this formula is, how do you uniquely solve that problem? I think that if we amplified or talked about quick response times and fixed prices, that could very easily pique somebody's interest and make them go, oh, okay, that's interesting. Tell me more. Saying committed to excellence, that's what everybody says. I think that it's important to say because it is something that you guys are committed to, but I don't think that if we're looking to have a quick opportunity to connect with somebody, the whole concept behind a one-liner is that you want to get the opportunity to have a deeper conversation. The team aspect too is something I think we could thread in there. Let me ask you this question though. Is fixed pricing and quick response times something that people are interested in that as a unique offering?
Yeah, those are more receptive talking points with clients.
Got it. So if we like fixed pricing and quick responses as something that is unique about you, then I think that that's where we would want to kind of amplify that in the solution aspect of this exercise. Now, that's step two. So we started with step two, which is good. I still have a question about team. Is there anything about the team that is unique to you or unique to your business?
No, there's firms out there that are one person, one sole practitioner. The ones that have more than one person, obviously they have a team.
Yeah.
The reason I need to promote team is because I need to scale, and it allows me to help other people get better at their job.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will not be able to do the quick response time.
Right. Let's talk about the problem. So what is the thing that if somebody heard an answer to the question, what do you do? What do you feel like is the main problem that your customers kind of talk about when you start to engage with them?
Probably poor communication.
Okay.
Like the relationship isn't a good fit. They're looking at working with someone that they can talk to, they can build a relationship with.
Got it. Now you work with individuals or businesses? Or both?
Both.
Okay. And is it mostly regarding their taxes?
Mostly.
Okay. So that's another thing too. If we got two sentences, we can't unpack. Most people don't get the information they need regarding taxes and business account advisory services and, estate planning. Obviously we can't unpack all of that. So if the problem is most people don't have a great relationship with their accountant, which means they don't get the clarity they need regarding their taxes.
I like the word clarity.
Okay.
I do agree that the words commitment to excellence is bland. Fixed price agreement, that is still fairly novel in our industry. So that does turn a lot of heads.
I like that a lot. And I think that that's definitely something that would pique somebody's interest. So would you say that they won't get the clarity they need regarding tax decisions?
Yes, potentially. I'm looking for clients that want a better fit. They want that service to be better. I'm not necessarily trying to promote that everybody else is not getting it, not getting good service or getting good clarity. Yeah. I'd rather just talk up about what my company can do.
Right. So if we stated the problem as many people do not have a great relationship with their accountant, which means they won't get the clarity they need regarding tax decisions.
And then at the end, I could say we solved that.
Exactly. That's what we're going into next. And this is how we solve it.
Yeah, I think we can start with that.
Okay, so we like the problem. So now we need to unpack how you uniquely solve that problem, how Dimeler and Associates uniquely solves that problem. So my team uses clear communication, fixed pricing, and quick response times. I think that kind of unpacks your uniqueness. Would you agree? Okay.
Yes.
So we like that. And I like that team is in there, and we've hit clear communication, fixed pricing, and quick responses so that individuals and businesses can get what they want. So is that a little bit too vague to say get what they want? Or is there a nice punchy word that we could put at the end there of, so individuals and businesses get, what about get what they need?
Accomplish their goals?
Accomplish their goals. I like that. There we go.
Good.
We could say, so individuals and businesses avoid tax problems and accomplish their goals, or avoid problems and accomplish their tax goals.
Accomplish their tax goals seems good.
Okay, let's put it all together. Many people do not have a great relationship with their accountant, which means they won't get the clarity they need regarding tax decisions. My team utilizes clear communication, fixed pricing, and quick responses so individuals and businesses accomplish their tax goals.
Yeah, I like that. You might want to rearrange the order, put fixed price agreements first, because that is the most novel aspect of a tax and accounting firm in our day and age.
Okay.
Yeah, and as you know, quick response times is gray. It's a gray area. I used to go 24 hours, but that was too demanding. And so, but I'm committed to shooting for 24 to 48 hours.
I like it. So I'm putting the full thing in the chat here.
Yes.
Right. Go ahead and read that off to me and see if it how it feels.
Many people do not have a great relationship with their accountant, which means they won't get the clarity they need regarding tax decisions. My team utilizes fixed pricing, quick response times, and clear communication so individuals and businesses accomplish their tax goals. That sound good?
It sounds great to me. Does it sound good to you?
Yeah, I did read it a little differently.
Yeah, you did a little bit, which is great. So you said quick response times.
It rolls off my tongue like that.
I like that. And that is definitely the next step that I was going to say is, now that we've kind of put the bones around it, as you kind of repeat it, it's going to start to get a little bit, the vernacular might change slightly just so it's able to roll off your tongue a little bit more. Obviously, this is something that would work well like in text on a website, would work well maybe in a piece of print material, business card, the signature line of your email. And then as you repeat it, you're going to nuance it a little bit where you can like repeat it at a networking event. Think about being a part of a BNI or part of a chamber, like weekly meeting. When you stand up and say, Keith Dimeler with Dimeler Associates, many people do not have a great relationship with their accountant, which means they won't get the clarity they need regarding tax decision. My team utilizes fixed pricing, quick response times, and clear communication so individuals and businesses accomplish their tax goals. And that would be a great thing to unpack as you're at an event like that. It's a little bit more buttoned up, which is exactly what is needed in those instances where you get to introduce yourself or do that weekly introduction that those things like BNI and networking, those networking groups require. But then again, to make this a little bit more conversational, you're just going to kind of keep saying it, and then you can kind of make it your own. Does that make sense?
It does.
Where do you think you would use this first? And I have an idea for you if you don't. I have something that's jumping off the top of your head of where you could utilize this first.
Well, one place, maybe it's the very first thing someone sees on my website.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding.
And then below that, I can have my prongs of solutions. And then below that, I might talk a little bit about my team approach.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And then you hit those unique. The thing is, when you can unpack the fact that if they walked away from the answer when you answered the question, they walked away with, you recognize that most people are not getting the clarity they need from their accountant. And they also walk away with fixed pricing, quick response times, and clear communication. If they walked away with just those three little nuggets, they could go to their friend, their brother-in-law, their whoever, and go, I remember you talking about like tax season's rolling around and how you were rolling your eyes that you always feel like your accountant never gives you the clarity that you're looking for. I just met this guy, Keith, at my kid's basketball game. And he talked about that exactly, that he recognizes that a lot of people feel that way. Because again, people make buying decisions about feelings more than they do about anything else. And you're touching on that. And then they come to your website. You've got this, this like free marketing department of somebody who remembered your memorable and repeatable one-liner. They come to your website and they see right at the beginning, right at the top of your website, tax, accounting, and business advisory services. So you accomplished your tax goals. And then right below that, we say that little one-liner. And then you start going into committed to excellence, quick response times, fixed agreements, supportive team.
Yeah. That crystallizes things better than what I have currently so far. So that's
cool.
Good.
Well, I think what you have works. Was this helpful?
Yeah. Very
good. Well, thanks for coming on. And I hope that I'm looking forward to seeing your website updates in particular. And then, of course, reach out if you need any help with that.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I will let you know as soon as I get those updated.
Cool. Looking forward to seeing it.
Thanks, Kurt.
Well, that's all for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Follow the One-Liner Workshop wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember, businesses that succeed in today's marketplace invest in clarity and reject confusion. A great one-liner is just the first step in creating marketing that works. And if you're ready to take all your marketing to the next level, please visit welldressedwalrus.com and schedule a free consultation with me. If you'd like to learn more about StoryBrand and Donald Miller, the creator of the one-liner, check out the book Building a Story Brand wherever books are sold. I'll see you next time for the next episode of the One-Liner Workshop.